Hey guys, Josh here, your Amazon optimization guru, and welcome to my channel where we talk about all things related to optimizing and increasing your sales within the Amazon platform. If you're looking for a more personalized approach, I do offer one-on-one consulting services, and if you'd like to learn more about that, you can get in touch with me by filling out the form linked in the description below. So today we're going to talk about one of the most important aspects of optimizing your listings on Amazon, and also one of the biggest aspects that ultimately helps you generate sales, and that's the actual product title. So if we go into Amazon itself and take an example here where I type protein powder, you're going to see a lot of different products show up. You're also going to see Amazon highlight various search terms in bold within those products. But one thing you'll notice is that a lot of them have some very different titles from one another. And to be honest, in my experience, over many years of working on the Amazon platform for different clients, including myself and my own online business, there is actually a formula here that comes into play that will give you the best result in terms of scaling your products and in terms of ranking your products better for specific keywords. So today we're going to take a look at some of these aspects and kind of go through the entire process of how you can curate and formulate your titles to be as effective as possible. So we're going to start with an example here, well, one that I think is a decent example, and we'll use them to sort of lay the groundwork in terms of a formula that you can use when formatting and curating the titles for your products. So here you can see that they start with their brand name. So if you're a brand on Amazon and you're registered within the brand registry, I highly recommend that you create and title your listing with the brand name first so that you get that recognition. People are going to come back, and surprisingly, they're going to be searching on Google, they're going to be searching on Amazon for your brand in the future, if they really like your products. So you do want to kind of start there and then move forward with some of the key specific benefits of the product, ideally calling out your target market. So what they do here is obviously No Cow is a protein powder that's vegan, doesn't contain any whey. And so they're calling out that aspect right from the start. And if you do some research, you can see, even just by looking at the number of search results for something like vegan protein powder, there's a good number of results. And if you use a tool like Helium 10, for example, or Jungle Scout, you can see that the search volume is rather large for this category. So there's a lot of people out there that are looking for this type of particular product. And so if you do happen to have something that's vegan that caters towards this audience, you want to qualify them to begin with. So in this case, you're including a relevant keyword, and probably one of the most relevant keywords to start with, including protein, of course, and including powder, which is going to be a qualifier. So if someone's looking for something like a protein drink that's already pre-mixed and it comes in a bottle, they're not necessarily going to click on this. So you really want to kind of qualify people, and you also want to index yourself for specific search terms that are going to be relevant to your products, and that's going to increase your conversion rate, which overall will increase your rankings and your sales and so on. And then what you want to do is you want to kind of take a list of some of the benefits. A lot of these protein companies, to give an example, give the number of grams of protein in their products as a call out. A lot of people are looking for that. If you're in the supplement industry, you'll know that most people for a protein probably want about 20 grams minimum per serving for powder format. So they've gone ahead and they've called that out. They've also additionally added plant-based. If you do keyword research, which I'll go into in another one of my videos in regard to this, you'll see that vegan and plant-based more or less go hand in hand, but they both have rather sizable audiences together. So we're looking at that. They did call out the recyclable bag. Again, sustainability is a big aspect that people are looking for these days. And whether or not you want to call it out or you want to curate your products in the position where they might be sustainable in terms of their packaging or in terms of their format, then you can feel free to do that. My personal sentiment is to really include it in the main imagery, but here obviously they've seen that there's enough interest from their consumer base that they like to place it up front. But again, dairy-free, soy-free, no sugar is a very big and popular concept these days. Everything's loaded with sugar, and people have really had enough, and we're getting sick from it. So adding that is a massive selling point. Keto-friendly, again, a big consumer segment, as well as gluten-free. And then the natural aspect to it, so naturally sweetened. There's a lot of sweetener in other products that is not so natural and that people have taken a turn against. So I definitely recommend if you can call out that, then you will. Non-GMO, kosher, and then of course you want to end off with either your product count, if it's a set of something, or if it's a supplement, or in this case a protein powder, you want to give the weight as well. So that's how they have it formatted. Again, it depends on the type of product, but what they've done here is they've picked out some of the highest volume keywords. So I'd recommend, and we'll do a video going into this further for the next one, I'd recommend prioritizing and picking keywords that are high volume, even if they're high competition, and placing them in the title so you get indexed for that. Again, key features is a very similar option that should be called out, as well as at the end the size, color, or the quantity. Try not to stuff too many keywords in your title. You're going to get about a 200 character limit depending on what category you're in. So what I'd recommend is just stick to that limit and try not to repeat things. Try to make it seem very natural. And the algorithm supposedly will pick up on if you're kind of stuff keywords in there that aren't relevant to the product. So the most important thing is definitely relevance to the consumer and relevance to the product. So if you stick to that, you should have the best result. Capitalization and commas are very popular. They help separate the sections. You can also use the kind of the barred line as well. I see a lot of listings that do that, and it seems to work very well. You can use the dash if you want, but you definitely want to have something that separates and delineates each section. It just breaks it up better, and it makes it a lot easier to read for the consumer. So I'd certainly recommend that. And then I'd also recommend checking out a lot of the competitors out there, because the ones that are going to be ranked at the top, they may be brand name products that don't have too much optimization in their titles going on because their brand is distinguishable enough. But there are a lot of other products that aren't necessarily as mainstream. And if you find and identify those products, you can really learn a lot about how they're curating their titles, especially the ones that are ranked close to the top of each search result. So if you're selling toy trains, you could do toy train in the search query. You can look for kind of the lesser known brands that are above the fold and higher up in the search results, and you're probably going to get some great ideas about how they're positioning themselves with keywords versus some of the well-known brands that don't really need to do that, because people are probably just searching their brand name and getting that result anyway. So I definitely recommend that. I would definitely avoid special characters. Don't include any of those. Don't include copyright or TM characters or anything else that you can get off the character map. Google's going to pick up on that and they'll derank you because of it, or they just simply won't be able to read it properly, and that's also going to affect the rankings. So I definitely recommend staying away from that. And then, of course, as trends change, as markets shift, as preferences from consumers shift, you're going to always want to make sure you keep your finger on the button and adjust these titles as you go along. So with that being said, those are just some of the basic top level recommendations for curating your Amazon product titles. Again, we'll have another video where we're just going to go straight into the research aspect of it and how you can prioritize and how you can properly pull and analyze these keywords so that you can be sure you're putting the most relevant ones in your title, you're putting the most important ones in there. So if you found this video useful, I'd certainly appreciate if you liked the channel, if you subscribed, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think I can really help you out. So anything at all, or anyone else that's watching the video that might have the answers you're looking for, can answer there. So appreciate it, and until next time, we'll